The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The Calling.
And good evening, everyone. This is Jerry with The Calling, along with the lovely, attractive Mrs. Kimberly Juarez. My voice is so out of bent and everything else, I can't say, Juarez correctly. It's like I'm choking on something. Yeah.
You're turning red. No, say it.
I'm forcing it out. It's like, I won't even go there. Anyway, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Good. Did you get out in this beautiful weather?
Yes, I did. I take my dog out for a walk all the time, and it's just great weather. Love the weather lately. Well, except for the two days. It's rained down here a couple of times. Yeah, we had a little bit of thunderstorms, not too much. But, right now the sun's out and stuff. So even after the show, I'm going to go run her real quick because she needs it. She needs a let out.
Oh, yeah. I suppose.
How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well. I'm still fat.
I was going to say you look dapper. And then you say that.
My hair's got the wind-blown look. I just, I don't care. I'm all, yeah. Well, it's so long now. It's like I'm starting to get hockey hair.
Oh, I love it. That's true. Hockey hair. That's great.
It sucks. But no, I just can't wait till I can get a haircut. Because, man, I was thinking of investing in a Flowbee.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to pull the bowl out. Pull your bangs apart. Just let me watch when you do it. Put the bowl out. Put the bangs for it.
No. No. Oh, my God.
Hey, our parents used to do that to us. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I remember these one couple of guys that in high school, their parents used to put a string right around their forehead and pull on it till their hair stood almost completely up, and then they would shave it from the hairline on down all the way around. So it was like a bowl cut, and then they would just trim it a little bit. And it looked so stupid, and people used to make so much fun of them and stuff. And I think that's why that, and later on in life, that they decided to shoot up a couple cop cars.
Oh, Lordy, probably.
Yeah, and they're probably still in jail right now. It was the Hughes boys. They were disgusting. Oh, my God. They were definitely backwoods. Anyway, yes, a Flowbee, Miss Steffi Jean. I get one. I'm going to reinvent it, though, so that you can do it in less than 30 seconds and put it on one of those, high-powered... what's that?
Yeah. You'll be famous.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fun. Said nobody. So anyway, tonight's show I'm kind of excited about. Tonight we're going to be talking about apparitions, visions of the past, or warnings.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
What do you think? Are they visions of the past, or are they warnings?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No.
I think it's both. I really think it's both. So you get the visions and you'll get warnings from certain visions, like even in dreams or whatnot. I'm sorry, but there's like pounding on this side of me. If you're hearing that extra pounding, I might have to mute a couple of times. But yeah, I think it's both, Jerry. What do you think?
Well, apparitions, they say it's more of a physical type of a manifestation of spiritual object, where a vision is not actually in is not actually an appearance of something. You know, where a vision, like I've had many visions before, and I just told you about the one that I had last night that came in the form of a dream, you know, and I was completely right in that vision again. And I don't like that. I don't want to know about, you know, someone else's business that I've never even met somebody, you know, met this person. And what I'm talking about is that 2 nights ago, I had this dream that this one person was pregnant. I'm not going to say who it is because I asked her straight out, and she just looked at me and said, "You're gross." So obviously she's not, you know, and she's mighty young. And but the thing is, she looked like this person in a dream, but it also looked like another friend of mine's sister. Mm-hmm. And so I called her up, and I said, "Hey," I said, "How's your sister doing?" She goes, "My sister? Do you know my sister?" And I said, "No, I had a dream." And she goes, "Oh my God, what happened in the dream?" Because she knows that my dreams are real. I've had them with her a couple of times about her. And so I told her, you know, that, you know, your sister's pregnant. And she's like, "Yeah, how would you know that?" And I said, again, it came in the dream, you know, which is bizarre. Mm-hmm. I said, but last night, that was 2 nights ago, last night, I had a dream that she lost the baby.
Oh, wow. And
so I called up that girl again, and I told her, I said, your sister lost the baby? And she's like, "What?" And then she called me back 4 hours later, and I guess she was brought to the boyfriend early this morning, or brought to the doctor by her boyfriend early this morning, and that she indeed did lose the baby. Oh, and wow. I said, but there'll be other times, because she was mighty young. She was actually, you know, most people would say too young to have a baby, not married, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was just a weird thing. So now that is a vision. Right. You know, and like when we went to Humbird, we did the Humbird Hotel in Humbird, Wisconsin. And once Wisconsin opens up, everybody, if you want a good place to go for a vacation, actually go to Humbird, Wisconsin. You could throw a baseball from one end of Main Street to the other, and that is not a lie. There's, I think, 2 bars there, a gas station, and a small little store, which I think is the gas station. But this hotel, Barn Hotel, is fantastic. It's from back in the early 1800s, and it is haunted. Rent one of their rooms. It's not a 5-star, you know, whatsoever. And it's you'll probably be sleeping in the same beds that they did back in the early, middle 1800s, but it's haunted, and it's just incredible. But that place, when we investigated it, they told us about an apparition that they seen, and it was amazing that I actually seen that apparition. Oh, and really? Yes, I mean it was incredible. It's like all of a sudden, you know, I see somebody walking past the room, and I thought Nicole was up there, and so I kind of went, "Hey, Nicole," I said, "Are you going to," you know, because I figured she was going to start investigating or when they're going to investigating. And then I seen this woman walk into Nicole's room. Uh-huh. She had her hands straight out. She was wearing period clothes. But the thing is, she was an apparition, but pretty much see-through. You know what I mean? You can see, right. But I don't remember seeing any feet. Mm-hmm. You know, she just kind of going across and stuff. And it was quite amazing to see something like that. And, you know, it actually, you know, the lady that told us all about it and everything, she was very much correct that I do believe her now that she wasn't nuts, that she's seen something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, you know, an apparition is like a super normal appearance of a dead person or animal,
Right.
or even a living person or animal too distant to be within sensory range of an observer, which is something we talked about last week when we talked about ESP, which all comes together. Apparitions of the dead, though, are seen repeatedly over a period of time. Apparently, haunting same locations. Of course, we call them ghosts. But only a small amount of apparitions experiences are visual. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, it's a very small amount. Most instead involve the sensing of presence,
Mm-hmm.
accompanied by a touch or hearing thumps, rapping, moaning, animal sounds, and other strange noises or unexplained smells. Now, I didn't think that apparitions were ever within that, but I guess they are.
Right. Well, and then visions, they've happened. I mean, well, visions and apparitions, they happen since the Bible. Bible even has them in there. I mean, like, I think when you showed me a little bit of stuff about the apparitions, I mean, they went all the way back before Christ and all that, when people would see these visions and stuff, or apparitions, I should say. So this has been quite a while that you would see things like this. So
Correct. And it's funny that with I figured that it would be apparitions again that you would see using the Connect device that Steve's talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, because we just went to Walcott a couple days ago, and myself and two members of the team, my team, and Jeff used his Connect and actually picked something up twice, and that was quite amazing. I haven't I seen it just briefly looking over at the screen, and Jeff's like, what the heck, type of thing. And I can't wait for him to send the final. And I'm still not done with my evidence, I guess you could call it. I had 3 body cams and a voice recorder and a handy cam going. So, but I tell you, they cleaned up the place a lot. And during the day is when we went, and it's still haunted just during the day. And I was quite amazed. But there was one room that had not a very good feeling in it at all. And it was a lot darker appearance-wise. When you walk in it, your eyes could not adjust to anything that was in there. And it's funny is that the K2 went off just in that one room that one time. Right. So it was pretty amazing. But here's one thing that I was very surprised about. It says apparitions of all types have been studied extensively by researchers, parapsychologists, paranormal investigators, and others since the late 19th century. Tens of thousands of cases have been collected and analyzed. Various theories have been put forth, yet researchers still know very little about apparitions. In the discussion that follows, the term agent refers to the person or animal whose apparition is seen, and the percipient, is the person who sees the apparition. I never knew that those words for that existed. Did you?
No. But when you're researching all this, it's pretty amazing on the stuff that they have on it. Pretty amazing. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Right. Oh, you froze up on me. You there?
Did I?
Yeah, you're freezing up. Wow, weird.
And what gets me too, Jerry, is they have all these different categories of visions. Did you see that too?
Yes.
So like they have like visions of, animals or spirits of animals and human, and some can be full form human, or some may not. Like you said, you saw an apparition with no feet. I've seen an apparition with just shadowing, in colors. I've seen that. But it was an apparition of some sort, that was just dashes by. But my brother, we were together, and we were in Camarillo State Hospital up in Ventura, California, and he was doing some work up there, and he was taking us through it's a mental hospital, and there's a big book on it and everything. And when we were going up the stairway, because he was showing me around, and he's doing contracting work up there. He's one of the head contractors, because they're making dorm units for kids to go to college there in the mental state hospital. Could you imagine the stuff that's going to happen there? So I'm pretty sure it's been like 4 years now. So I'm pretty sure they probably have a lot of reports of different things up there, because it is a state hospital, mental state hospital. So we were going through there, and the minute I tell my brother, it was really weird, but we're walking through, and we're going through some really cased staircases, and all of a sudden my brother says, "Oh my God, who's standing at the end of the stairway?" I turn around, I look, and all I see, he saw the full apparition. I saw like it just wuss right down the stairway. We followed it, and there was you couldn't even go past, nobody could have went past, but he saw it, and he swears up and down, and he never seen that before, never had seen anything like that before. So yeah, so there again is an apparition, so yeah, they come in all types of forms. Shadows, you can see them, hear, you can even hear the visions, stuff like or apparitions and stuff like that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I just had to throw that in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, it is very cool. But saying that apparitions are, that some, I don't know, did you notice any kind of smells? Because a lot of people are saying, that there's smells, sounds, sensation of cold, yep. Movement of real objects in the environment. In some cases, attempt to touch apparitions, most find their hands will go through. But in a few cases, contact has been made with a substance that feels like a flimsy garment. Oh, really? Yeah.
I would think they would feel more of the coldness and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's what I would think too, if you're able to feel a flimsy garment or whatever and stuff, who's to say that they can't reach out and touch? I mean, what would make it so that, there would be more of a solid touch, as in a push, a slap.
I've been pinched.
Something like that.
And then right after an EVP, right after I got pinched, I thought Art pinched me. And just after I had said, "Oh my God, who just pinched me?" And then you hear a little girl giggle.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was haunted, a haunted area, haunted place here in the town I live in. And then smell, you say about a smell. I smelled smoke before. Like if somebody was I actually smelled fresh cigar, and I didn't know anything about this building that I went in, and I did a walkthrough, and when I did the research, the big honchos there here in Waseca would conjure together and smoke cigars, expensive cigars, and talk big talk, like it was just their conjuring thing that they would just be in there in that particular building, which I really can't say, but I thought it was pretty amazing that I knew the smell. And I kept telling my investigators, "You guys don't smell that?" And they're like, "No, I don't smell that." I'm like, "It smells like sweet cigars, So yeah, isn't that crazy? But yeah, there's that.
That is crazy. It's also crazy too. Like they were saying, like during the Dark Ages, people believed in all manner of apparitions, usually frightful ones, demonics or demons,
right.
Vampires, special creatures as black dogs.
Yep, they bring that up too on some of the stuff. Yeah,
and even a wild huntsman. Now, to me, a wild huntsman would be Bigfoot. You know, you would think.
No, or even what is that? The the one for Halloween. What's his name? The guy with the jack-o'-lantern head. And he would not even Krampus is kind of sort of like the supernatural, but when he'd ride the horse down the path,
Headless Horseman.
Yeah, there you go. And that was an apparition of some sort, supposedly in the folklore. I don't know if it's a folklore or a story, but yeah, something like that. Who's to say? And the demon dogs. They always say they're in the cemeteries or they're together, and they have red eyes and they're evil. I mean, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's just so interesting, the whole thing. Like Catholics about ghosts of the dead leave purgatory, especially to lecture Protestants on errors of their religion. I'm sorry,
there's a lot of that.
There is. It just kills me. But no, this is quite interesting. There was so much stuff about apparitions and visions. If anybody was to have seen our advertisement for the Calling radio show, did you see the
little
apparition
girl?
In there?
Yeah. The little girl apparition.
Exactly. That was from Stashoes back in the day. We were the first and only team that ever investigated Stashoes, and it was quite incredible. It was our very first night, and we're taking pictures around and stuff. Steph was, and we went through it the next day, and I remember the first thing she says is she looks and she sees this big orb type thing, and she goes, "I think that's an orb." I said, "No, I think that's a street light." Then all of a sudden I seen it, and I go, zoom in right here, and oh my God, she screamed that I think the neighbors thought I was beating her. Because she just totally went off, and it was pretty cool. It was, that place was definitely haunted. And then it's funny is that so many people, even guests at Stashoes and everything, later on when we did a reveal there, did claim that they had seen something like that. And
the little girl.
Well, no, she wasn't a little girl. This was a woman. That was.
Was she?
Yeah,
she kind of looked like a little girl, but I mean, she looked like a woman. So yeah, she looked like a girl, basically.
Exactly,
So, yeah.
Exactly. It was pretty crazy. Let's see here. Now let's take a look and see if we got any questions. Vampires are real. Yep, Michael Bodine. My God, you couldn't tell him that vampires are not real whatsoever. But drinkers that they were. He tells me. They were very light, translucent skin. Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of believe in some of that stuff.
Steph, were that family from New Orleans? Is that one of the families from New Orleans? Because I know there are vampires in New Orleans, from what I understand. So, yeah. I wonder if that's where he's seen them, met them.
No, there's also in South Minneapolis.
Oh, really?
I'm just being a smart aleck here. Huh? Imagine that, huh? Imagine that. So, where's one place that you feel has the most? Well, wait. Let's go back here for a second. Now, when you've done readings and stuff like that, visions, how do they come to you? Do they come to you just out of the blue, or how do they come to you?
Well, I do a lot of meditating. I try to do some meditating and stuff like that. So just before the case, of course. And then it seems like, I was trying to say, like last week we tried to talk about it a little bit, but they come like these movie type looking things. And I think I'm a reader from the past more than anything. I mean, sometimes I get things from the present and stuff, but, I think I read more through the past. So I can see a lot more different things through past, and it kind of reminds me of a movie or a slow motion. Like, it's really weird, but that's how it comes to me. And I see things, and I just tell them, I can tell somebody, you've seen an apparition here, or I feel a vibration, or like when I go by something and I know they've seen things in certain places. So yeah, it comes way different, but majority of the time it comes like a movie type of thing. So I don't know, or just pieces, and it just seems like, I try to put as best as I can, so I don't know. That's just how it works for me. So
right. One thing that I did see here, Steve had said, sorry, I do not buy the vampire belief that they are real. Here's the thing about that, is that vampires that drink blood to feed off people and stuff, I even have a hard time with that. But vampires that feed off your energy and, off your soul. Yeah. There's lots of those. And how can you say that there is such things like that? If you've ever been, nowadays you got to be 6 feet apart, but I suppose it could happen even now. But if you're ever someplace and somebody is trying to upset you, even whether you know them or you're not and everything else and stuff, they're getting on your last nerve. You're trying everything you can to hold back and stuff, and you start to feel weak, and you start to feel, you just want to give up and just go home or whatever. There is your vampire. Yeah. They're draining you of your energy. Exactly.
Yes.
So
I truly believe in that.
Right. But just to say vampire, is fine. Energy vampires, they're all over the place. And they're at my employment. They could be. I remember mine. They were definitely at mine when I was working. And Snooky there, Darlowski, we worked together, and she knows that some people can just suck your energy dry, and the next thing you know, you just don't have, nothing to go on. So it can definitely happen, It can even happen with just friends, where you're just, something you don't want to talk about, or something where they need energy to keep going and they just unload and dump, and it's just the wrong time for you, and it can happen. Right. So now I know that a lot of people think that apparitions are demonics. I've heard that in so many cases and stuff. And I really don't believe that they are. That apparitions, a lot of them, most of them, don't know that they're dead, or they just don't even see us, and that they just happen to come through at a certain time when we happen to be there. There are vampires, Michelle. I am going to keep my mouth shut about Michelle Bellender. I better just be quiet on that. Yeah, pretty much. I'll leave that one be. Though I'll talk all day long about Zach Bagans being a vampire. But anyhow, well, listen, guys, we're going to go on a break, and we're going to be back in about 2-3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Oh. UFOs. Bigfoot. Cryptids.
All this is on the call. Just think if you listen to the words of Parallax.
Hey there. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a great new radio show on Para X. 2 hosts, 1 hour, and too much fun. Stephanie and Heidi not only talk about the latest goings-on in the supernatural worlds, they live it. They want to hear from you. They want to help you understand and guide you. And they want you to tune in. So, Grab a friend or come alone to gather around that metaphysical table with Heidi and Stephanie. If you're interested in the worlds of the unseen, tune in to the Gathering Radio Show, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Para X Radio.
Geek ladies Sean and Victoria from Exploring the Paranormal with Geeks Paranormal are at it again with another amazing season full of paranormal celebrity interviews with amazing guests and stories of haunted locations and so much more. You will hear it first on Para X. Tune in Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. You will not be disappointed.
And we're back. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking with us there. So now, if you've missed the first half and you just started joining us and you're wondering, what were they talking about? Well, guess what? You'll know tomorrow. You'll be able to see this show tonight will be put on our website, www.thecallingradioshow.com, tomorrow by 4 or 5 o'clock. And also, if there was any past shows, take a look. We got a bunch of them. And what else? Let's see now. Also, too, Para X. Oh, my God, Para X is so awesome. They've got all sorts of really cool things going on. Like Tuesday nights, they have The Gathering with Stephanie and Heidi, and they talk about you got to listen to what they talk about, because sometimes it's like, I never heard of it, or I heard of it, but I didn't know about it. Well, guess what? I just learned something. That's on from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then there's also the Cryptid Show, or the He Said, She Said, the Cryptid Show on Sunday night. So Sundays are boring anyway. So give them a listen. 8 o'clock Central or Eastern Standard Time, or Central Standard Time, I'm sorry. Give them a listen, Stephanie with the Cryptovania TV guys. And right after this, hang tight to listen for Geeks Paranormal. They're pretty cool, too. So anyway, Kimberly, let's see now. We got anything in there that we should...
Yeah, so I just want to see... So Sherry's in the chat, and she says, a lot of people think ghosts are demons. Now, this is just my opinion, Sherry, but I think sometimes, like, there's people who think even the children, if children come to you, that all children should go to heaven and blah, blah, blah. And if children come to you as an apparition, then that's a demon. I don't truly believe in that fully. Sometimes I've heard of somebody being warned by a child that came to warn them about something, like their daughter or whatnot. I've heard many stories like that. Or I've heard... I don't think necessarily everything an apparition, like, some people will say, oh my God, my house is haunted and this evil woman, she keeps doing this and blah, blah, blah. And goes to show maybe they're doing new renovations or they're doing new things in their house. And these are people who lived there once, and they don't like the whole renovation thing. They want to stay, they want their house to stay the same. I know that, and of course, the apparitions will ramp up and sounds and noises and stuff like that, and a lot of people think, oh, it's evil, it's demonic, it's going to get me, and it's not always necessarily, and that's when I go in and try to investigate it to see what's going on, or to, right, Jerry? I mean, isn't that what you do too?
Yep. Actually, we're there to help the spirits more than to help the people in the house, because if it was past owners that are there, they had a reason for being there, and they're still there because they don't know they're dead. I believe human ghost spirits and demons, they are not spirits. They are not spirits. Human ghost spirits and demons, they are not spirits. But if they are human ghost spirits, why wouldn't they be spirits?
No.
I think you wrote that wrong. Demonics, though, I don't believe that they're spirits whatsoever. I think that they're to cause chaos and to cause confusion and
Right.
to cause pain. That's something that they're going to live off of. So again, you're back to the energy vampire type of thing, and that's what they're going to suck everything out of you that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when a person gets so drained of their energy and everything else, they're worthless. They don't even want to go on. So when you see a person that's, this is my opinion, but if you see a person that's depressed all the time and stuff like that, it's a good sign that you may want to reach out. Right. Okay. Now, Steve, demons are not spirits. Yeah, that is what I meant. Exactly. No, they're scourge of the earth. They're the bottom of the.
Yeah, they have their
barrel.
own, their whole own thing. You know,
bottom of the barrel, just like BPM motorcyclists. I didn't say that. Kim wrote that on a piece of paper and put it up to the screen.
Oh no, I didn't. Love it. Oh my gosh. Kim wrote that. She said it.
Geeks Paranormal. Now that demons are ghosts are demon thing. I know a religion that believes that all entities are demons. I have an argument also almost every Wednesday or every time I'm go on an investigation because my son is part of that religion. LOL, I just tell him he believes what he wants and believe what I've experienced and what I want. We don't judge. Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Sorry,
yes,
I was reading so oddly, but when people were typing, it's like the thing's jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I work at a Catholic church, guys, and I'm the actually general manager, so I am the manager of the church. So it kind of, there's some people I will tell freely about what I do, and there's some people I just don't. And Father totally knows what I do. So, at first I didn't really, think, but the rest of the people told him what I do, and he just he seemed fine with it. So it's like, and I don't, I do pray a lot and stuff like that, but I don't throw religion, and I don't believe everything is a demonic thing. There's a lot of things that I just want to say, and there's a lot of people that say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. That's evil. That's part of being evil and blah, blah, blah. And I just turn my head and I don't say anything. So yeah, I know what it means. I know what you mean, geeks. So I do understand that part. So yeah.
Right. So, and yes, BPM motorcycles. No, BPM, the motorcycle gang. You're going to have to look up what BPM stands for. I don't think Para X would like me to say that. Zach believes that demons are everywhere. Zach is a demon. He is.
Who says that?
Pig.
I lost
Sherry
my...
said that.
Oh, Sherry said that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Zach Bagans and I do not see eye to eye whatsoever.
Maybe I've always thought about that because every single investigation, of course, I'm pretty sure they do a lot of demonic investigations or something demonic is in there. I wonder if he's one of those people that track those type of entities. Do you see what I mean? You never know.
Could be. That's most definitely could be.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Hey, I just got a text from a friend of mine. I need to read it to you all. If you guys believe in sending some healing, I would like you to do this. A friend of mine just said, let you know that mom is in the hospital. She fell off the deck this afternoon and really hurt herself. She's at the U for a few days. She has a small brain bleed that they want to monitor. Plus, she broke 3 ribs, broken scapula, and broken wrist. If everybody could just take a moment there. He's one of the team members on SIM. And his mother is just an adorable lady.
Send some healing vibes to her.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just telling him that. Okay. Oh, that poor guy. That's just terrible. Just terrible. She's awesome. That woman is just awesome. But anyway, so now we're talking about the spirits now, and so apparitions, visions, and spirits. So now spirits and apparitions, there must be something where a spirit that's going to be facing off to you, I guess, maybe pushing or something like that, making themselves known to you, being physically attracted, not really attracted, confrontational to you and stuff like that, which doesn't mean that is a demonic whatsoever, but anyway, so you got an apparition and then you have a ghost. So how do they get to that level? You know what I mean? Like an apparition is something that really doesn't pay attention to you too much, walks away, where a ghost or a spirit may do that. They may, make themselves known to you. How do you think that can happen? This is the question.
That's a toughie on mine. Okay, well, so ghost and an apparition.
Okay, I'll just tell you, because it'll probably take till the end of the show before you get something. But now, some people are claiming...
I'll chime in. Go ahead.
Okay. Some people are claiming that an apparition, when you just see them and then they're gone, it's because they had a job to do, and did that job, and that's what they're there for, to do that job and to keep going, where the other ones may be reaching out to you because of certain things that has happened in that place, where they may be either warning or wanting help or trying to get you out of there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how would you know that if a spirit is actually, coming to you, that this is what they want, because then you have malevolent ghosts and everything that are going to be a little bit more harsh on you, but yet they're still not, damn it, Mike.
I know.
I'm going to kick him right in the face when I see him next time. Or they're perverts and they want to watch you in the shower. Exactly. Okay. That's just sick. I had a good thing going here.
Yeah, you were doing really good until you saw Mike's comment.
Yeah, it just kind of hit me. But no, it's an amazing thing, because when you go into a place, like when we go in to clear a place and we sit down, and the first thing we try to do is try to make, we'll smudge and everything else first. And if we'll be able to feel if something's still there. So we may sit down and try to communicate with this spirit, and sometimes, it's funny, because if you use like a K2, one for this, one for that, or if you have many K2 meters and you're using them, it's usually a child and they like to play, but if you are having stuff pushed around when you ask, or they're almost to the point of combative, but yet there still is no smell. There's none of that. There's none of past stuff from that family that would say that it's demonic. How would you do it? I mean, the first thing that we do is usually talk to them and to remind them or ask them, did you ever have a dog or a cat? Did you have a fish? Something that you really enjoyed? And we'll keep talking about that certain thing many times over until we feel that we have a grasp on it, to let them know that their favorite grandmother or their favorite aunt or their cousin have already passed, and they're sitting there waiting for them to come over there. So we're not playing with their heart. We're getting their heart to open up to be able to see, because if your heart's closed, you're not going to be able to see nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, how would you do that? Do you do that too?
Well, yeah, we do. We talk. We're gentle, and we talk, certain ways to get them to want to connect with you, in a sense, not where you're attached or nothing, but you want them to connect so they can open up their hearts. Or because then you got to stop to think, if these people died instantly, they don't even, half of the time, they don't even know that they're dead. A lot of these people don't know that. You have to remind them, have you seen the light, and you don't go in, don't be afraid of the light. Keep going, and you're right, Jerry, because just the energy, when you feel that negative energy, and then when you ask them to move on, and it's a long time before you get it through their mind or whatever they're thinking to move on, and you feel a total different atmosphere in where you're trying to get them to move on. You totally feel different. It's light, it's airy, it looks more lighter than it does heavier. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of times we do that. We totally do that. So to move on, or I do some readings, I do praying and stuff like that, and you use sage. I've used sage too, to get some good light or energy inside the place that they're in. I try not to do like trapping or anything. I just ask for good energy, inside the home. So yeah. So
now, Kat said, or just in the mood for no questions in the dark, trespassers on what they consider to be their turf. Exactly. So if you're trying to clear a house and you want to use foul language, stuff like that, and everything else to push them out, that's not going to do it. Why? No. Because then they're combative.
What's funny? So, I got to tell you guys this real quick. The funny thing, one time I just had gotten out of the hospital, and I don't know if it was the pain medicine, but I didn't get like really major pain medicine. All I got was like an ibuprofen type of thing. And, I'm still a little groggy from this operation, this little surgery I had on my knee. And I laid down in the living room, but when I woke up to get up out of bed, and this happens to me even at night, I feel energy, I feel, I see shadow people and whatnot. But one time I see a full-blown apparition of a lady crossing across my kitchen, okay? And I could see from the living room where I was laying, I could see the lady, and I told her, what's that lady doing in there? And he said, what? And he's like, what are you talking about? But I'm drowsy. I don't know. I'm not realizing. But I mean, is it from the drowsiness? But she looked real. Like, she looked solid. She was a little translucent, but she wasn't real bad. But she had long hair. She had a gown with the little pricks, like the little gathering up on top of the shoulders, like an older gown. So, I mean, to me, that was real. So to this day, I still don't understand why she crossed my kitchen. Why did she do that? Did she have to, I still to this day, and it's just really weird. But yeah, I just have to talk about that apparition. So yeah, to this day, I still don't know why she was there. If she needed to help, or she needed me to talk to her or something. So maybe one day she'll come back again. Who knows? So.
That's true. And even Sherry had even said too, maybe grumpy in life, now grumpy today in death. That can be. I mean, my father, he's 93, and he said when he goes, he's going to haunt me. And I'm like, Dad, I've already been through 93 years of you. I can't take much more of that, so.
Reconnect. Yep. Go see the light, Dad. Go see the light. Yeah, I get that. My mom says the same thing. She tells me the same thing. But I tell her, just let me know because I want to know if it's true, Mom. So she says, oh, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, that way. Because you just never know. I believe in apparitions. I believe in ghosts and spirits. I truly do. But I just want to make sure that I hope you still can have contact with your loved ones, I still believe in that. And, that's why I tell her, So whenever I die, Jerry, I'm going to come and put my fingers through your hair. You're going to be like, what the heck?
Well,
Jerry. He's like, no.
Boy.
He's like, no, you're not, Kim.
Nope. Okay. So now, when you have an apparition, and could that apparition that's just doing their job, going from point A to point B, could they at one time turn and be nasty?
Huh. There's even a saying that when a person passes, they split into two different people. Like after they pass, their energy, their bad negative energy stays in certain places and the good energy goes in different. I don't know whether to believe that or not. I think you should only be one whole spirit. I believe that. So who's to say, if you would, I think if somebody is nasty and somebody is evil, of course, I truly believe that they'll come back that way. So I don't know. What about you, Jerry? What do you think?
Well, I think they can. I think they can, if they knew Mike, I think that they could turn evil real quick, within seconds. I don't know. It's a very strange thing that, because you have the ones that they consider apparitions to be spirits, mm-hmm. Yet some spirits can be, really, really nasty.
Yeah, well, like when people see some apparitions, like they see disfigured faces and mean, ugly faces, and that's part of the soul of that person who has been very rude and very nasty to people in real life, and they take on this, I think even this facade of some sort. They can, do you know what I mean? I'm not, right. I'm not trying to be off the wall or anything, but sometimes, people do say they see apparitions that have bad faces and nastiness about them, or even they talk bad, I don't know. Could it be demonic? Could it be, that changed these people? I don't know.
Right. There's even some, which I totally forgot about to talk about, but some apparitions, could be around just to help, to comfort grieving,
yeah.
or people that are close to death,
mm-hmm.
and helping
yes.
them. And it doesn't even need to be from what some people are understanding. Now, this isn't just my opinion and opinions from others,
mm-hmm.
That they're there to help them on.
Help them on, yes.
Right? And they might not
Jerry.
even be an ancestor or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anybody, whatsoever.
Well,
Deathbed apparitions.
Yeah, deathbed apparitions. So, like my cousin was just passing away, and she saw her father, and she was saying it in a state of kind of comatose, but she was saying she could see him, and she was trying to tell us she could see him, and it was just so odd. And then, like within 20 minutes, she had passed on. And this happened to another family member of mine as well. So yeah, near-death experience of apparitions, they do see other coming to help them or to come move on. Sometimes I've also heard that they see the dark figure hooded man that's coming to get them, and some of them are so freaked out. So I've heard of many stories like that, especially in nursing homes and stuff like that. So who's to, I've never experienced anything like that, or I don't know anybody who's experienced anything like that. So yeah. who's to say on that part too?
Right. Sherry said, like, demons can't spell on Ouija boards. Have you ever heard that?
Huh. I've never heard that. So like if they were, so like if somebody was like trying to do a contact with the spirit, with the Ouija board? Is that what she's saying? Wait,
she just says, like, demons can't spell on Ouija boards, so-called.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know about that. I never heard of that. Who's to say? Maybe. I mean, yeah, think about it. What if they don't? You know? Let's see.
Laughter is the best medicine. Okay. You know,
Mike!
Mike, just shut up. Gosh darn it, just shut up.
I know. I'm trying to keep Jerry to look at my face instead of watching the chat room.
I can't look at the chat room now.
I know, right?
I do. It just throws me off guard. You know? So, okay. So, do you got any kind of big investigations coming up? I mean, you guys have already, I'm sure you guys have suspended all.
Oh, no, we do.
Oh, what?
We do. We do have an investigation coming up, although we do have a suspension right now with a lot of evidence because we have so much evidence to reveal because we can't do the reveals right now. But we do have one where we're going to be outdoors and only a few of us are going. So we're not going to be doing that contact thing or anything, and we will be outdoors. So we will be doing some walking and stuff like that, going through certain evidence, and like we've caught, like I got it. It's just crazy, but it's a farm, and that's all I have to say. And it's a really good area. So, yeah, we've already gotten good stuff through there.
We are too. We actually are going to be doing one on Saturday evening at a place that's out in the woods, and it's only going to be a few of us going. No investigations of UFOs, but this one seems to be, from what I've read and what some people have told me, witchcraft.
Really?
Yes. And it has to do with hanging of the circle wreaths around in the woods in certain areas. And it's weird is that in these areas, the woods they're just dead. I mean, the whole thing is dead. You walk in, you got a living forest, you've got really cool stuff around and stuff, and then once you've walked in for a ways and stuff, and you turn on this trail, it's just dead.
And everything's just dead around it, is what you're saying.
We'll talk about that next week a little bit. So
Interesting.
All right. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Para X. Thank you, Sarge. You're the best. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for Geeks Paranormal. And, hey, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you all next week.